This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hello, welcome to this week's episode of the Bristol Flyers Podcast, proudly sponsored by WebGains. I'm Joel Osborne, and joining me in the studio, fresh off a trip to Poland in the midweek, is none other than the man, Sam Hardy. Sam, how's it going?
Yes, Joel, doing all right, my man. I'm doing very well indeed. Quite tired. It's been a long old week, but I'm so glad I can be here with you today.
Yeah, you've literally come back. You arrived from the trip, yesterday, right?
Arrived, yes. Got back home about 5 p.m. And then we had a local league basketball match. So then we were shooting out to Trowbridge at about 6 p.m. So I got home, dropped my bag, got changed, and straight off out the door as well. So, yeah.
So not quite fresh off a trip back from Poland, because I imagine also, not only did you have your local league game, I imagine there was also plenty of fresh waters being consumed on the trip as well, I imagine.
Not one fresh water, Joel. Definitely not just the one.
Well, obviously a commercial visit, isn't it? It's a commercial trip. You and Steve from the commercial team taking the Flyers sponsors out there to Poland. So, no fresh waters at all, right?
So it's just responsible. It's pure business, actually. Just a business trip, I'd say. Honestly, Joel, I'm joking. It was lovely. It was so chill. The guys we went with were all amazing. Steve's obviously good fun to be around. If you've not met him, I know you have, but the people listening, he's a great guy too. So yeah, Joel, you get my voice is a bit hoarse. Actually, I shouted so much of the game that I can barely talk.
Not a bit of goat then. No, not a bit of goat, a bit horse. Because the goat and the...
No, I get it. No, I totally understood it.
Animal-based jokes.
Do you know what? We went looking... I know you'll probably cover all this, but we went looking for the goat, couldn't find it, so...
Well, we'll get onto that a little bit
Sure
later
we
on,
will.
because some people have found the goat. But before we... get down into business into Poland. I'm going to introduce producer Dan over there. Dan, how's it going?
Very well, thank you, gentlemen. Feeling refreshed, much like Sam. Yeah, feeling good, ready to go.
I mean, we are literally, Dan, you and I, obviously we didn't go to Poland, myself and producer Dan, because obviously we had the Flyers TV broadcast here from Bristol. And Dan, I think we're pretty much living in this space now, aren't we? Because we did the game on Friday, Flyers TV against Manchester Giants. Before that, we did the podcast from last week. Then we did the game on Friday, Flyers to Manchester Giants. Then on Tuesday, we did the Poland game. And now we're back in here again today. So literally every day this week, we've sort of been in here making some kind of content.
There's actually a little sleeping bag on the floor down there, Joe. Have you been sleeping
That's
in, mate?
producer Dan's over there, I think.
Yeah, it gets cold in here, so I just keep that for myself.
That's not true. You know it gets hot in here. Very, very hot indeed. Not like that.
Yeah. But what a result for Flyers on Tuesday night, though, Dan. Obviously, we were covering the game from here, but you could feel the Flyers fans' energy through the arena, couldn't you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we could see them on the broadcast as well. A little sea of pink in the corner that people could see on the stream, and yeah, you could feel it coming through the screen too. So, what a night. That was brilliant.
Yeah, it was so good. So good. And I was buzzing after the game, and I wasn't even there myself, so I can't even imagine what everyone down there in Poland would have been feeling like after the game. Fresh waters all round, I imagine, would have been the scenes. Right, so just a quick run through of how this episode is going to play out. So throughout this episode, Sam, you took the podcast on the road. So you recorded a bunch of interviews behind the scenes, from arriving at the arena to speaking to some fans, to speaking to some players after the game. So I've pieced that up into 3 little packages. So we'll run those throughout the show. And when we come back to the studio, we'll do our usual podcasty bits, like the news. And also, we're going to round up all the fans' content they sent through to us. So last week, we asked fans to send us some pictures and on social media and tag us in your pics. We're going to run those here on the podcast as well. And Sam, you haven't actually listened to any of this yet, have you? You haven't. Obviously, you recorded the interviews, but you haven't heard how I've edited them yet, have you?
Not even that, Joel. I didn't even watch them back. I just made them and I sent them through to you, and I was like, work your Jolie magic, see what we can come up with. So I have no idea what's about to come.
Yeah, I had the job of editing them all, which was quite eventful because... I mean, you'll find out as we go along, but I just feel like, Sam, throughout these packages, you get slowly and slightly. It starts off on the train to Lublin, and you slowly get more and more drunk as the videos go on.
Do you know what? I will explain it to you, and I've said this to everyone. Yes, there were a couple of fresh waters, but genuinely, I get so overexcited. All the people there, the Flyers winning, like having a great time. That I'm genuinely just getting so excited as we go. Okay?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of the words excited in these packages as well.
Great, good to know.
But shall we get to the first one? Because Sam, before you went to Lublin, you and the sponsors actually started your trip in Warsaw, didn't you?
It's annoying. There's like no flights to Lublin straight away, and we had to get all the way to Luton, and then we flew from Luton to Warsaw, spent a night there, and then headed over to Lublin from there, mate. So yeah, Warsaw was the first place.
And just a bit of context before we play this segment, Sam and Steve Devereaux, our Flyers commercial manager, are out there on the train with long-term sponsors Rebecca Tregartham and Tim Stringer, Sue Pascoe from our partners at Subway, Michael Leatherbarrow from our car providers at Drive Bristol North, and of course the big man himself, our commercial manager Steve Devereaux. So Sam,
not only that, we also had Anna Jagger from Loyal to the Game was there with us as well. Clothing brand, which you will see throughout the season, I'm sure. But yeah, there you go.
Great stuff. Right, without further ado, Sam, let's head out to Poland, where Sam is in Warsaw with some of our Flyers' most loyal partners.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
We've just arrived in Warsaw right now. The plane took about 2 hours. We had a bit of fun getting here. Uber's different over here, but do you know what? We've landed on our feet. This is mine and Steve's room. We've got a nice little twin room. Excited to... I've never shared a room with you before, I don't think, Steve, so it's going to be a first. Commercial visit, remember, this is obviously hard work. We're not here to play, we're not here to have fun, just pure work. So I'm going to keep you updated a little bit as we go through the rest of the trip. But yeah, here you go. This is where we are on the first night. We'll get a train across tomorrow to Lublin and meet up with everyone there. So yeah, should be good. Here he is, the podcast on tour. So we are here with the Bristol Flyers Podcast, visiting Lublin. We've just been in Warsaw for a night, haven't we? Did you enjoy last night, Rebecca?
It was great, really, really good. Yeah, a bit dark to go and see too much sightseeing, but really good. Really enjoyed that.
I can see you're rocking the Bristol Flyers away jersey signed by the players. Are you excited for the game tonight?
Very, very excited. Come on, Flyers.
Do you think we're going to win?
Yes.
Simple as that, Tim. How are you finding is it your first trip to Poland?
It's not actually. I've been a couple of times before with work over the last few years. Third time lucky as well, maybe.
Yeah, hopefully for us. Tim's had a very, I should say, interesting morning. Yesterday, he left his iPad on the plane. Is that right, Tim?
That is correct, Sam, yes.
Didn't want me to say. He left it on. He head to the airport at 6 a.m. this morning. And guess what?
All good. They found it. No, they did very well. Found it, came back to the hotel, got the iPad. We're all good. Looking forward to the game.
Michael's feeling a bit sort of nervous about being on the podcast for the first time. Michael's one of our he's one of our sponsors. He gives all the players the cars. He's from Bristol. Was it Drive North?
Drive Bristol North, yeah. Yeah, Drive Bristol North.
Mate, what brings you out of Poland right now?
Well, it's the weather, clearly. The weather is absolutely divine.
Get out there, Steve.
Looks like a scene out of my favourite war film. I know, it's beautiful, to be fair. No, we're here to support the Flyers. We've had a lovely time. Steve's took us to a few lovely places.
Yeah, what did we do last night?
We had a nice meal. What did we have? We had some sort of dumpling-esque thing.
Well, they were called pierogies, yeah.
Yeah, they were very nice. It was a very nice venue. And then we went to a James Bond bar.
We certainly did. There was a man stroking a hairless cat, is that right?
Yeah, it was very weird. All of my clothes now officially stink because it was like a cigar bar. So yeah, it was... looking for some Febreze action when I get home.
To be fair, like Warsaw was actually like I've never really thought about it as a place to visit. It was beautiful, wasn't it?
No, for sure. I would definitely come back with my wife. To be fair, it was beautiful. Yeah, it was very nice.
And the start of Christmas, the snow's out. We might have a few freshwater. What was it? Wine? What the wine? Mulled wine. Yeah, we'll have a few freshwater mulled wine later. We got the whole crew here. It should be good, shouldn't it?
I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. I don't really know what we're doing. Steve's got some plans, I'm hoping. Otherwise, we're going to walk aimlessly around in the snow. But no, if we do that, I'm up for that, to be fair. It should be a good time.
The one thing I'm buzzing about is, look at this. We're in a little coach in the train. This is a first-class train, 2 hours, and it cost us €5, and that's all I care about. Steve, you can't go without seeing you, mate. Should we have a little interview of you? How's it going? You enjoying yourself?
Yep, very good so far. Yep, off to Lublin. Nice, affordable Lublin. Nice, affordable train. Be great if we had these prices in the UK. We've got the snow today. It was rainy yesterday. Yeah, we're hoping for a good performance from the boys.
Do you think we're going to win tonight?
I think we've got a chance. I think with the last game, it showed that everyone really gets up for these European games. It's something a bit different. to break from the British Basketball League games, and I just think it feels like a special occasion. I think everyone's going to be up for it. Hopefully the injuries aren't too bad and we've got a few players that are 50-50 playing. That's my only concern, but yeah, I think we'll do well.
You've heard it here first, folks. Very good. Now, Mitch is someone who lives 30 seconds away from SGS and has never, and I say never, been to a Flyers game. His first one is a European trip, Lublin away. Are you excited for the Flyers?
I'm super stoked. Everyone's saying it's a hoot, so I'm really excited for this.
We are too. Thanks for joining me on the podcast, guys, and we'll be back with you later.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
So, Sam, I've got a question for you. How can someone live 30 seconds away from SGS and never go to a Flyers game? It's absolute criminal.
We gave him, as you can believe, a lot of grief for that, Joel. And he is converted, and Mitch will be joining us at future games coming up.
Amazing. That's what it's all about. I love the way people sort of get into basketball, because you just, like, everyone gets into it in a different way. And once you go to one game, that's it, you're hooked. Do you know what I mean?
Why did you first like basketball in the first place, Jolie?
I used to play it at school.
Yeah, but is that the only reason?
I think so. I think I played at a level at school and I was quite good for my PE age group. And then it was like, oh, how can I get involved in the local club? Do you know what I mean? So sort of went into the playing route, and then now I obviously studied media at school as well, and then went down the media route when I realised I was too small for a point guard. So, yeah. How about you?
I think I've said this before, but similar, my friend Michael Templar, I don't really speak to anymore. No reason, just don't. But he got me into it at year 4, took me to a training camp, and just been hooked ever since.
Wow.
So yeah, there you go.
What about you, producer Dan? How did do you remember your first Flyers experience or first basketball experience?
I think I do. I was there to work, actually, when I was working on a radio station in Bristol at the time, and went there for work to sort of cover the game. Went along and it was pretty much like, wow, this is mega. This is great. This is really cool.
Is that
Greg Street days?
Oh,
no way.
Yeah, well, I remember we used to send the players down into the studio, didn't we?
We did.
With Downsy as well.
Yeah.
And,
it was great.
Yeah, it was really good.
Dan, you don't look old enough to be around when Greg Street was around.
Yeah, I know. I was about 19, 20, I think, when I first watched Greg Street play.
Wow.
1920, that's a long time ago.
I know, Greg's been playing nearly 100 years.
Look at us now. €5 for a train, by the way. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Honestly, I cannot even tell you. It was beautiful. First class, like just a little cabin. Like there's a guy in there who was already part of the journey, and he was a guy from Poland, and he wasn't expecting 5 of us to just come in and start chatting rubbish the whole time. So, but he was very lovely. Told us to not get off at the stop. We were going to get off at the next one instead. So €5, Charlie, can't complain.
And talk to me about this James Bond bar, because I am intrigued by the man stroking a hairless cat.
That isn't actually true. I was just chatting rubbish like usual. Do you know what? This is something that I've not thought about in a long time, because the laws changed when we were very young. But what I found bizarre is people still smoking inside.
Yeah.
So there was the James Bond themed bar. There was a cigar menu where you could literally order the cigar you wanted and sit in there. We didn't get one, but like people were sat in there just smoking cigars and drinking shaken, not stirred.
Fresh water?
Fresh waters, yeah. You're going to get bored of us talking about fresh waters. We've already said it too many times. So, Dan, what are you saying, boy?
Well, can I just say, so far, this is lovely. This is like a travel documentary. It's like Michael Palin levels of what Poland is like. I'm sure it stays at this level, right, as we go on.
Yes, you can be absolutely. So now I will say one thing, though. Honestly, I know I said it a little bit in the clip, but Warsaw is beautiful. Like the architecture, the infrastructure, they're so good at like making their tram systems in the middle. And we walked through when it was dark and it was snowing a little bit. We could see the Warsaw Stadium in the distance for their main stadium, and just the old architecture is absolutely phenomenal. Loved every second, Joel. I definitely will go back, and I recommend other people go too.
Yeah. Shout out to all of our partners that did travel with us to watch the Flyers play in that game. Sounds like a great night you guys had in Warsaw the night before, and obviously all of this wouldn't be possible without all of their support as well. So we're really appreciative to all of our Flyers sponsors, and I really hope they enjoyed their time, because it sounded like a hoot.
I tell you what, we've had a lot of responses, emails and texts saying like, honestly, that was so good, and if you do it every year, we would be more than keen to get involved. So, and hopefully we might even have Charlie join us next time.
Maybe watch this space. Right, well, as we are here in the studio, Sam, it only makes sense for us to do our usual podcasty bits, so it's time for us to get to this week's news.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Hey Flyers fans, we want to say a huge thank you to our sponsors WebGains, who helped make this podcast possible. WebGains is an affiliate marketing network who bring businesses and affiliates together to grow and succeed.
The Bristol Flyers are all about teamwork, and that's exactly what WebGains are about too. They're like the assist that helps your business score big.
Are you an aspiring entrepreneur or have a business of your own that sells products online? If so, WebGains is here to help. They connect businesses with top affiliates, from cashback giants like Top Cashback to niche bloggers in your vertical, who can promote your products and services, reaching a wider audience and driving more revenue.
And here's the slam dunk, Flyers fans. WebGains provides you with detailed reports and analytics to track the performance of your affiliate marketing campaigns, making it easy to see results of your hard work and investments.
Whether you're a local business or an international brand, WebGains has the expertise and network to take your marketing efforts to the next level. They're passionate about helping businesses grow, just like we're passionate about our team's success, Sam.
So if you're ready to skyrocket your online presence and drive more sales, visit webgains.com and see how they can assist you in scoring big in the world of affiliate marketing.
That's webgains.com, webgains.com. Give your business the assist it needs with WebGains Affiliate Network.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Right, here's a look at what's been going on around the British Basketball League this week, and a couple of hot topics I want to discuss here, Sam. The first big news is coming out of Plymouth, and Carl Heslop has announced he is stepping down as the club chairman of the Plymouth City Patriots.
That is, how long has he been a chairman for?
So he's been involved since Patriots first were formed. So when the Raiders folded, he basically was there to save the club from, he kept top flight basketball in Plymouth.
Okay, cool.
So the fans have a lot to thank him for. It's a shame he's moving on. He put out a statement on the Plymouth City Patriots website. To the Patriots community, further to discussions with the British Basketball League, I have regrettably resigned as chairman of the Plymouth City Patriots, and my last day in post will be on the 15th of December. Further to my workload increasing massively over the past 12 months, I advised the league prior to this season that I was unable to manage both the club and my businesses. This workload has only since increased and therefore have no alternative but to step away at this time. Keeping Premier League sport and professional basketball in Plymouth has always been the goal, and it is why I agreed to work with the league-owned Patriots in 2021 on a voluntary basis to try and achieve this aim. Unfortunately, despite myself investing a lot of time, money and resource, I was not able to get the support required to deliver the venue the club needs. He also thanks staff and family and players in there, and last sentence there says, let's all now get behind the team and give them as much support as we can for the rest of the season. Yours sincerely, Carl Heslop. So, yeah, tough news there. It'd be interesting to see, Sam, how that club moves forward, because of course he's been a big driving force there. His statement also mentions the league-owned Patriots, which suggests that 777 may have an involvement there. Mm-hmm. But I think the whole thing is they're trying to find new investors. So you see what Manchester have been doing with 777 as well, and with Plymouth. They're looking for new investors to come on board. And if the right investor comes along, you never know what could happen with that program. So watch this space. Other news around the British Basketball League this past week. Speaking of departures, Leicester Riders have announced the departures of 3 of their starting 5.
3
of them.
I mean, they're all great players, but it is Asbury brought a lot of drama to the league, and I enjoyed that, Joel.
Yeah, Braylene Bridges, Xavier Pinson, and Caleb Asbury are all out at the club. They've left on mutual terms, which usually in the world of sport means that the club's told them to leave. I mean, it's true.
I love it.
That's literally what the term means in the world of sport. Am I not right, producer Dan?
I mean, in so many words, yeah, basically.
I loved how sensitively you put it, Joel.
I mean, Leicester Riders right now, they're sitting mid-table, which by Rob Paternostro's level and the club's ambitions is nowhere near where they want to be. So I imagine a little shake-up's required. And obviously, you've got to remember, the starting 5 this season were all rookies. So all 5 of them were rookies, including the 3 just listed there. So maybe they're looking to bring some experience in. Who knows? So watch this space. And interesting one here, because Tahir Hajat, who everyone knows is a big voice around the British Basketball League, has suggested on Twitter, Sam, formerly X, formerly known as Twitter, that some players may be coming into the club. And producer Dan can get it up on screen. It says, understand that Leicester have 2 key targets to sign, one all but confirmed, the second more of a challenge. If they pull this off, it should add quality to the roster. Keep an eye out. I feel like giving a clue will get me in trouble. But Sam, interesting. And then also, speaking of Tahir Hajat, he's also gone and done another cryptic tweet today. This time it's about Manchester Giants. He's like the watch bomb of the British Basketball League. He put out another one saying, hearing big things brewing in Manchester. Manchester Giants fans keep locked on the socials. # British Basketball. And I have a feeling, Sam, that could be to do with the previously mentioned ownership that we spoke about. There could be new investment coming into the club. But who knows? That's me speculating. We'll see. Just the one game for Flyers this weekend. They travel to Sheffield Sharks away from home. What do you think about this one, Sam?
Well, one game in a week feels quite nice in a way, doesn't it, Joe?
I'll tell you one thing about this. This game is going to be a very, very low-scoring game. As it always is between Flyers and Sharks. Always.
This is where you're wrong. This is where we're going to come out and hit 100 points straight off the bat.
Fingers crossed. Off the back of a 100-point-plus game we had on Tuesday night, it's got to carry over, right? Surely.
Well, I think it is always a tough battle. Sheffield doing pretty well this year, aren't they? They got some decent players in. I think it's going to be a tough one, but we're showing, like, even with the injuries we've got, like CJ starting to look like he's making some magic happen. So you never know, Jolie.
Yeah, a win for Flyers would leapfrog Sheffield Sharks into 3rd position in the British Basketball League table. You mentioned TJ Jackson there. Of course, like you say, we've really seen him settle into life now, haven't we, in the British Basketball League. Had a massive game on Tuesday.
I mean, that was it was some of his passes were just like, I didn't even see him coming until he did them, like after they'd already happened. He was doing really well, Joel. A lot of finishing, shooting well. They had the weirdest putback sort of non-jump.
Oh my god, yes.
Do you know which one I mean?
The most casual shot in the world on the fast break. It just landed in his hands and he just like did a free throw from like a metre away from the basket without jumping. Yeah, it's amazing. So good to see him playing well. He started to really settle into life in Bristol, and hopefully he has a big one on Sunday against Sheffield. And now you're up to date with this week's news.
You're listening to the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Well, that's your news all done. Right, is it time for us to head back to Poland? I think it is. And Sam, you've now arrived at the Globus Arena in Poland, and you managed to catch up with some of the travelling members of the Flyers family. But first, you got to speak to T-John Lucas.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
T-John Lucas, here he is. You feeling good or not?
It's good. You know, it's a little cold down here, but, you know, we're enjoying it for the most part.
Now, you're not playing today, but are you excited to be in Poland in the first place?
Definitely. It's another opportunity for us to showcase our talent, you know, on the road and European competition, so hopefully get another second win.
How's the training been this week?
It's been good. I think the guys are locked in. You know, CJ coming in, he's been learning more and more. I've been doing my therapy rehab. Me and Keaty's been doing what we can do to get back on the court as fast as possible, so hopefully we get a win today.
Now, have you had a chance to look at the other team and see what they're about?
Yeah, we've been doing scout report. It's a lot of film since we had like 3 games in about 5 days recently, so most of it's been film. But obviously we got to lock in and know personnel and then just be able to play our game.
I'm so excited to see it tonight. T-John being here. Have you got one more word for the Flyer fans for this podcast?
We're going to do what we can tonight and go Flyers.
Let's go Flyers. So I am here with Cider Sam. What a legend. You made it all the way to Poland. My man, how is it going so far?
Oh, yeah, it's been a great couple of days. Yeah.
So what have you been doing?
Well, we basically went to the castle today and had a little duck rain. That was pretty good. Went to the chapel there. That was a really nice, relaxing day. I had a few beers, obviously, and a couple of ciders. Tried a few craft ciders. So.
Do you mean fresh waters, Sam?
Yeah, sorry, fresh waters, yeah.
Good. I'm glad to hear. Now, what else have you been... so you've been here, obviously. Have you been watching the team warm up today?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, they all look happy. They look like they're going to... Probably up for it today, I reckon. They look pleased.
Now, I've been speaking to Mike Edkins. Mike tells me we might have more fans here than they have tonight. How do you feel about that?
Even if we didn't, we'll still make more noise than them anyway. We'll like sing the entire arena if it was full.
Now all the guys are wearing their pink t-shirts. We're very excited to be here. Sam, one final word for the Flyers fans?
Let's go Flyers, let's go.
Let's go! Janet Marks, Kev Marks. Now let me tell you about these two legends. Janet, you're here in Poland. How are you feeling at the moment about this game?
I'm feeling okay about the game. It's flipping cold outside though. Snow, -4.
We have had a lot of snow, haven't we?
We've had an awful lot of snow, yeah.
Do you know what I think? It makes us feel like the Christmas spirit is happening now. Is that right?
Christmas starts today.
Now the thing is, one thing I was worried about in Poland is not enjoying the food, but I've actually very much enjoyed the food. How are you finding it?
Oh, fantastic. The cakes are huge, huge.
We went for some traditional Polish donuts earlier.
Oh, huge. They're big.
They are massive and they were delicious. I was absolutely excited. But to be fair, the main important thing is watching the Flyers play tonight. Do you think we're going to get a big win tonight or not?
Of course we are. Don't be silly.
Don't be silly. My hope is our 3-point percentage is good tonight. Tevin's going to have a good game. TJ going to have a good game.
But we're all going to have a good game. Cheers, my dear. Come on, Flyers. Let's go.
I am here with the wonderful Tash, the wonderful Karen. How are we feeling about tonight's game, guys?
I'm excited, really excited.
Tash, what about you?
Yeah, I'm buzzing.
This is our third game in Europe right now. We've won one away, we lost the one at home. What do you reckon we're going to do today?
Win.
Now tell me how many by, Karen, go on.
Oh, I don't know, by about 5.
5? That's a close game, Tash, what do you reckon?
I reckon we're winning by 12.
We never got the chance today to visit the goat, which is quite sad, but have you done any you got to see the goat?
I've got a picture of the goat.
Go on, get the picture out now, let's have a quick look. I was so sad. We got to have a look around the old town, but never actually got to see the goat. Let me have a look. Oh my god! All right, there's the goat on screen. I don't know if you can see it. Is that it? I thought it was a gold goat.
No, that's a goat.
Okay, was it worth every penny?
Yeah, of course it was.
James Barton, the boy. You are here in Poland. How's it going so far?
Absolutely fantastic. I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. I'm rather tired. It's now almost 7 p.m. at night, but we're ready. It's game time. We're ready. We're very ready.
That is commitment, because most of us left on Monday. Jimbo left literally this morning on Tuesday to get here in time. But the tiredness is not going to get you, is it, boy?
No chance. No chance at all. We're awake. We're ready. The boys warming up look fantastic. It's going to be a good game.
Now, Jimbo had one message I want to hear. What is it that you wanted to say to everyone, Jimbo?
Well, Sam, so we're here in Lublin. The stadium looks amazing. The snow outside is fantastic, but there's one thing missing.
What's that, Jimbo?
Joel Osborne, where are you?
But it's all right. They're back in the studio, enjoying life. Back in warm Bristol, what do you reckon?
I'm jealous. It's cold as hell in here.
It's so true. Snowing outside, but they've got a mascot. Steve, if you look over here, their mascot is a lovely little goat, which I'm very excited to see. But anyway, as we go, the guys are here, ready to frickin' win this game. Bristol Flyers, let's go.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Yeah, let's go Flyers. And Sam, some interesting characters you got to speak to there pre-game. Everyone's buzzing for tip-off.
Buzzing. They're excited. I think I said excited about 40 times then, Joe.
He's getting a tally on the game, just down of how many times
See what we can do.
Excited.
A lot of repetitions as well of what everyone's just talking about the same thing. So
it does sound very exciting though, mate, to be fair. It sounded very exciting. Got to give a shout out to Cider Sam, who you saw there in the VT. For those of you that don't know, Cider Sam is one of the big dogs at the Bristol Flyers Supporters Club, which you can join over on Facebook if you haven't joined already.
Well, he was one of the ones. There was only 3 of them that travelled out to Bulgaria with you lot.
That's right. He was out in Bulgaria with Janet and Kev.
Yeah. Do you know what? It seems crazy to us. I don't know about you, Joe, but when you were starting, 10 years ago, that you'd be having this cult following of people travelling with them all around Europe. Did you believe that would happen or not?
No. It's just amazing, isn't it? Just people just investing in the club. It's like a family feel because everyone knows everyone, and there's an interview later on with Coach where he talks about it in more detail, but just like the way that everyone's intertwined with each other, it's players, it's staff, it's fans, it's community, it's sponsors. It's amazing how everyone's just part of this one big Flyers family. And it's obviously good to see that Tash was able to find the goat.
I'm so jealous. Where was it? Did she say where it was?
I don't think she did. I don't even think that's the real goat, because I swear the one in Just Dance video year was gold.
Yeah.
I think there are a few goats dotted around, you know, and I think it's obviously a symbol. We've got the mascot. You saw the mascot as the goat as well, so I think it's a bit of a symbol there. So I think there's a few. She might have found a special goat.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
fine.
also I'll tell you what, I noticed that the logo of Start Lublin actually has a goat on it as well.
Does it?
I didn't realise that, but the logo for Start Lublin, yeah, it's got a big goat that comes out the sides. It's time for us to get to some of our fan photos and fan videos that they sent in, because last week on the podcast, Sam, we asked fans to send in, if you come into Poland, send us a pic. Send us a video, and before we get into the photos and the videos, I have to give a shout out to this one very first video that I received, and this one is of you dancing.
Oh, for goodness sake.
In the arena. I think the fresh waters are definitely flowing at this point. Get it up on screen, producer Dan. There he is. If you're watching the podcast on YouTube, you can see Sam's very, very impressive dance moves here. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll definitely... We'll see if we can clip this up for you and put it on the social channels. But yeah, Sam, absolutely loving life right there, Sam.
Now, you don't understand. Oh my goodness, I missed that one. I never saw that video. There were cheerleaders. There were cheerleaders. There was about 8 of them or something, and they were going out every single time. And what was making us laugh is there was no fans to do the cheerleading to. It was obviously just for the broadcast or whatever. And I was copying them guys. All right, that's what I was doing.
I was gonna say, because looking around that arena, there wasn't actually too many. How many home fans do you reckon
Honestly,
there actually were there?
90 maximum. You don't understand. It was bizarre. They'd set it all up. They'd got all of these massive, like, sugar. I think Sugar was their biggest sponsor, like a sugar company.
Yeah.
And they had these huge blow-up sugar things, like, all around the court. They'd obviously worked really hard to get it set up. The hospitality area was looking amazing. Like, they had the goat, obviously, the cheerleaders. The whole thing was set up to have 5,000 fans there, and there were 90.
Wow. I mean, and you were sort of separate, weren't you, with the sponsors to the fans we just saw in that VT, because they're sort of up on an upper tier, aren't they? And you guys are sort of on the opposite side of the court in like a lower section.
Well, we went to a bit where, I'm not going to lie, we need to speak about this because our games, Joel, it was £19, and it was for this courtside ticket and unlimited food, unlimited like beveraginos, unlimited everything. There was a guy there making cocktails for everyone. It was just like the weirdest thing ever. You'd walk into another room, just like literally 30 seconds around the corner, and it cost £19.
And it's all you can drink all night and all you can eat all night.
Until half an hour after the game finished. Like, it was just a crazy setup. Like, I've never seen anything like it before. And it was set up, again, like I said, to be really professional. It was done really, really well. You cannot fault how they're set up. It was just weird how not many fans they had there, I suppose.
It's felt very strange with a Tuesday night. I know, producer Dan, we were in the studio, weren't we?
Yeah.
And we were like, oh, this arena looks really nice. It's going to be a really good game tonight. I know what the Polish fans are like. They're noisy, they're loud. And then it got to like half an hour before when we started the pre-game build-up, and then there was no one.
It's a 5,000-seater arena, and it is impressive. So it's just, yeah, like I say, it's a bit of a shame, really, that there's only 90 people there.
I would say, obviously, Poland were playing against another team in like a Euro qualifying. I think it was Latvia in a Euro qualifying match. But is that so? Maybe that was why people were staying at home watching that. I don't really know, but yeah, weird.
Well, the game was also on Flyers TV, so maybe they're staying at home watching that because they wanted to get the good commentary. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, Joel, we can talk about that. We had some big views. By the way, I don't know if you want to talk about that.
I didn't hear about this.
So we got an email last week from the European North Basketball League from Lasma, who we had on the podcast very recently.
Yeah.
And she said, are you able to send a stream to this company called Caffeine.tv? Is that right, Dan?
That's correct, yep.
Caffeine.tv. So they are an American streaming company, like a streaming website that has links with, is it Fox Sports?
I think it's Fox, yeah.
So they have it's like their affiliate streaming platform. And the game was streamed out there on Caffeine.tv.
No way.
With our Flyers TV broadcast, because they wanted footage that had English speaking commentary and so that the American supporters could understand. And I haven't looked at the numbers, Dan, so you might be able to help me out here a little bit. But what were the numbers like?
I got the numbers. So live. Well, Sam, how many people do you think, what would be good numbers, do you think, to get live watching that?
Is this purely from the caffeine stats, or is this the full...
caffeine? Okay,
stats. Cool. So this isn't our local fan base, people.
Just Americans.
It's just Americans.
I'd be amazed if we got 5,000. That'd be incredible. But I doubt it's that.
Live, 180,000 people watched the stream.
What? 180,000 people.
180,000 people watched it live. Recently, we looked last night, another 80,000 watched it afterwards as well. So 260,000 was the last number I saw.
Joel's gone viral.
I honestly, I'd never heard of caffeine.tv. I have no idea who they are.
Maybe that's the thing that Manchester have brewing.
Yeah, I know.
I got myself then. Honestly, though, that is incredible. Do we know the numbers on people who watched from the UK, like our own fan base and whatnot, or no?
Yeah, we had a couple of thousand on Flyers TV, and which sounds minuscule compared to caffeine now.
We should have said that number first, really, shouldn't we?
Yeah, we had 2.5, I think, or maybe 2 at the time of recording.
But I still think that shows that is our fan. That is a lot of our fan base, as all of our fan base, plus plenty more watching, isn't it?
Obviously, it doesn't account. I don't think that accounts, Dan, for the concurrent live. I think that's like a total number.
That would be a total, yes.
So like, you wouldn't be 100,000 people all watching at once. It's like way, way, way less than that. But that's a total number of people that have like clicked on to watch this video.
Yeah, nice. To be fair, though, like those stats don't show like, oh, that person watched for an hour, or it just shows like one click, does it? Okay, fine.
Yeah, exactly. So there we go. Right, time for us to get back to these fan photos anyway. And we asked the Flyers fans to send in their pics from Poland, and they did not disappoint. Obviously, we just saw your dancing there, Sam.
Brilliant.
Here's a pic from Flyers fan Joe Williams. Of course, a bunch of the Flyers fans enjoying some cheeky fresh waters. Well, that's them outside the arena. I think before that, Producer Dan, they went to the pub first. Producer Dan got his pictures the wrong way around. There we go. Flyers fam in Lublin. Shout out Joe Williams sending these through. Here's some... we see Cider Sam, there's Janet and Kev, all having some fresh waters in a lovely Polish pub. And then, Producer Dan, they went out to the arena where they were stuck outside.
What a surprise.
What a surprise. They were stuck outside. But apparently they wouldn't let them in because they got there too early. So they could have spent more time at the pub.
What time did they arrive? Do you know?
I have no idea. But that's them all there. Good numbers, Flyers fans. Got their Flyers woolly hats on. But security. See the security guard in the background of that photo, by the way, just looking away. It's like, not letting you in now. Just let him in. Yeah, go on. I've got to talk to you about security actually, Sam, because I was editing these videos for this episode of the podcast.
Yeah.
There's one video. I think you're about to interview Leslie Smith, and the security guard. You're trying to do it on the court. And the security guard is trying to usher you off, and Leslie Smith's like, "Oh, come on, man, let's do it on the court."
He was I think he thought I was just some randomer, even though I had the legit hoodie on or whatever. I mean, I am a bit of a randomer, let's be honest, but I've not got the media pass and stuff. But Joel, there was no one there, so I didn't think it'd be too much of an issue. But there you go.
Well, the security also didn't let the Flyers fans from the top tier down onto court to meet the players after the game. So the players actually went up to the back of the top tier to have this photo taken all together. There's the Flyers fans with the players. Like you said, they went up to the top, didn't they, Sam? That was great to see.
Yeah, it was so nice. Like they went up straight after the game as well, and they spent a good probably 20-30 minutes up there chatting to the players, the fans, the sponsors, all the rest of it. It was really good.
Here's a look at a photo from Janet Marks, who finally got to see her 100th point in a game, because she's been to so many games, Sam, but she's never watched the Flyers get 100.
No, and do you have any stats on how many times we've reached 100 in the last sort of 5 years, Joel?
I mean, I wouldn't be able, off the top of my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I can confirm it's been a long, long time since we broke a ton. I heard apparently the Queen writes you a letter when the Flyers reach 100.
Which Queen? The Queen of Flyers.
Who is the Queen of Flyers? Lisa Knight.
Lisa Knight, yeah.
Lisa. That was a quick answer and a quick response. Right. Meanwhile, back in Bristol, here's a post from a Flyers fan watching from home. The @ old man yells at NBA. What an account, by the way. It says, chilling with Rolex the cat while we cheer on at Bristol Flyers.
Look at that. That is obviously a stolen glass from a pub there, Joel. One of the neck oil ones.
It is as well. Very good effort, Josh NBA in 1873. Very good effort. We love Flyers pets here on the Bristol Flyers podcast. We had a couple of good furry Flyers fans last season, and there's our first this season. So if you've got any furry Flyers fans you want to get involved on the podcast, maybe we get them in on the podcast.
We should get a little dog in here, Joel.
We should get a little dog in here. See if we can get Bruno back here on the podcast.
Dan, are we allowed?
Go on then.
There we go. So we
You
can do
know
it.
I'm a sucker for pets.
We've got a sign off. Watch this space. See if we can get if anyone's got a Flyers furry friend that they want to let be our resident
resident
pet on the podcast, let us know. We'll have him here in the studio.
Dan, we promise minimum peeing on the floor, okay? And that's just Joel.
From him. Jinx. Oh yeah, jinx. Oh, great stuff. Also, there's another Flyers fan we've got to give a shout out to, and that is James Barton. Of course, Sam, Jimbo, good friends of you and I, all went to uni together, played at UE. We saw him there in a VT. First of all, shout out to him for travelling on the morning of the game, because that is incredible dedication.
Not only that, I don't. Did he say on the VT? I can't remember, but he travelled to Warsaw and then had to get the train across to Lublin as well. So he literally it was a crazy day of travel for them.
And I got to give a shout. He's going to hate me for doing this, but a little while ago, he sent me back his collection of Bristol Flyers jerseys that he has at home. I don't think there's a better collection of Flyers jerseys. If any other fans have a good collection of Flyers jerseys like this, 5 Flyers jerseys for the podcast listener in total laid out on his sofa. Tweet us or message us at Bristol Flyers. I think there's ones from that one on the right, Sam, is probably from 2016, I reckon.
Is that Leslie Smith's first time round?
It would have been. It 100% would have been.
I remember videos of him absolutely jamming it, wearing that jersey. So
yeah. I remember the Worcester Wolves away one. I remember very fondly indeed. It's a couple from the COVID lockdown year, and
I love that Concorde one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we actually did the signing at the kit reveal underneath the Concorde in Bristol, because of course it's housed at Aerospace Museum in Bristol, so that was good fun.
I love the nod at the red arrows on the left hand side kit.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. The stripes through, that was the Trajan Jacob first year, so it would have been a couple of years back, that one. Great to see. If you have a collection like that, let us know. Send them in. We love seeing your pics. So just send us all your pics, and we'll run them here on the Bristol Flyers podcast. So that, Sam, is all of our fan pics that we've received from the game, and it's time for us to head back to Poland for one final time, and that is because it is half time in the game between Bristol Flyers and Start Lublin. Bristol Flyers have a healthy 11-point lead. You actually ran into Tim Stringer once again, and also a young 12-year-old Start Lublin fan.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
We head into the second half, winning 50-39. How's it going so far, Timmy boy?
These European games are absolutely non-stop from the start. Never seen anything like it, just like the home game. Straight out of the blocks, the first half, it was absolutely non-stop. What a great lead. Looking forward to the second half.
Now, what you can see is their big man is in 3 team fouls. We want to get him to a bit more, that would be great. But our guys are scoring a left, right and centre. Who is impressing you right now, Tim?
From our side, it's got to be, for me, it's always Brad. Big Brad Green. He is the man.
What a beautiful man. Winning the rebounds, getting the points. We are here for the second half. Tim, who's going to win in the second half?
Let's go Flyers.
Let's go Flyers. I'm here with Kuba. How old are you, Kuba?
12.
12 years old now. You support Lublin, yeah?
Yes.
Now, Bristol were winning by 11 points. Do you think you are going to win in the second half?
I'm not sure, but still, I believe in our club, so we are going to win.
Who is your favourite player for Lublin?
Liam O'Reilly.
We obviously think O'Reilly is an Irish name, so we think he should be from Dublin, not Lublin.
But he's from USA.
He is from USA. I obviously still want Flyers to win, but it's so good to speak to you. Give me one of these, and we'll see you soon, all right?
3-pointer is up. No good for Start Lublin, and that will do it. It is a big win for the Bristol Flyers on the road as they improve to 2-1 in the European North Basketball League.
Yeah, fantastic result on the road for the Bristol Flyers. Little bit nervous going into the game with the form and injuries, but Bristol Flyers, again, we've seen this before, coming through adversity, able to get big results on the road.
I'm here with none other than Leslie Smith. Tell me about the game, boy. What's going on?
Hey, it was a good game, man. It was a good game. Y'all was here. Y'all see how it turned out. Had a lot of energy. We had to bounce back and win, man. We needed that. We really needed that.
You didn't only win. You annihilated that game. What happened?
We just came out with more energy than them, man. We stepped on them early, got a good lead, and we just kept that energy.
Do you know what? Every time they scored, you seem to just go, do you know what? Screw you guys. I'm scoring right back.
Yeah. Next play mentality. We speak about that every day, every time we play. You know, they're a good team. They're going to score. You know, they're second in the league. I think they won their league at some point. So, it's a great team. We're not going to stop every shot. We just got to make sure we move on to the next play.
Mate, Leslie Smith, not only is he handsome, he's winning games like an absolute legend. How many points you got tonight, do you reckon?
I don't count, man. I think they robbed me a couple. But anyway, I did good.
Leslie, you got 11 points tonight, boy. You nailed that.
I'm just trying to get better, man. I'm trying to get better and put it all together, you know. When I was here, I could put the ball in the basket a little bit, so I'm just trying to get back to doing that and help the team out.
And tell me a bit about Poland. Have you enjoyed Poland as a general?
It's just snowing, man. Man, we went to the store. We was getting rained on, and I mean, what you expect? We're in Poland, you know. It's snow everywhere.
And not only that, Leslie, best hair in Bristol. What a legend. One more word for the Flyers fans.
Thank y'all for coming, and the ones that tuned in, man. We did that for y'all, man. We needed that. I'm glad. Keep supporting us, and we're gonna take it all the way to the top. Pause.
Thanks, Les. I appreciate you. I'm here with MVP CJ. You absolutely dominated today. How did you find today?
It was just fun. I think the biggest thing, we just had fun. The last couple of games, we were kind of pressuring ourselves, just worrying about too much. You could tell everyone had a smile on our face the whole game, and that was just the reason why we won, I believe.
Mate, I was looking at you. You look like you were enjoying every single second of that. What was different today to the last few games?
I just thought we just came in focused. We had a really good shoot around this morning, and everybody just understood what we had to do. I'm just happy right now. I'm happy for the guys. It's been a long week for everyone, so I'm happy we got the first win, my first win with Bristol. I'm excited to keep going.
Let's hear it. CJ, absolute legend. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, and I'll see you soon, yeah? I got my boys RGB, Tevo, Ollison. Tell me one thing that happened tonight that you loved.
We came out and we responded well. We bounced back from the 3 losses, and I think we had fun tonight. That was the most important thing.
RGB, you killed it tonight. Do you enjoy that, man?
Yeah, man. Everyone had fun, and we came out from the beginning of the game and did what we had to do.
Pasquale needs to do his best impression of Joel Osborne because he loves that.
Welcome, Bristol Flyers fans. This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast, live from Lublin.
That's TJ, give us one more thought. Give us one more thought, my boy. Give us one more thought.
Big Dub came here, got the job done. You know what I'm saying? Nothing but a thing. We out of here in the morning.
Love that. Guys, we will see you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Bristol Flyers Podcast. I'm here with head coach Coach Kapoulas. Talk to me, man. How did the game go today?
The guys, a hell of a performance. These guys are second in the Polish League, 7-2. They haven't lost a home game all season long. And to come and produce that type of performance, especially with the 3 losses in the league, with the injuries and everything. But it's great to see everyone pulling together. Some great individual performances, but most importantly, it was our type of basketball. And we hadn't seen that for a while. So certainly to get a great one here. But it's so beautiful to see our team playing and the fans. Just to have like 30, 35 people here to support us. We were saying before the game how excited we are and you know what it means to individuals, and just kind of the people turning up, it just kind of shows what it means, Flyers basketball. And I think the guys got inspired by that, and certainly having the support was a huge thing. Just great to see guys playing to their potential and coming out with such a massive victory. It's never about like the coaches, the players, it's about everyone. It's everyone in the program. That's what matters, and that's how we won today.
It sounds like it.
So come here.
Come in there, get in here.
So there's not like one thing, TJ will come and do his thing, Royal will come and do his thing, CJ will come, Tavi, you can keep on going, but bottom line is playing team basketball and kind of executing the things that we're talking about in preparation for this game. That's what got us the win.
You will not believe how much work this guy's been doing in the last 48 hours on getting video together and changing things. And I got woken up at 1 a.m. this morning with my phone pinging because the scout report came in because he changed it for about the 15th time. This guy's so thorough with everything. There were no surprises out there. I think we surprised them a little bit. I think they thought it was going to be a bit easier, didn't they?
Coach, thank you. Nick, thank you so much. We'll see you soon.
Thanks everyone for
Thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
This is the Bristol Flyers Podcast.
Well, Sam, it looks like at this point of the evening, the fresh waters are very much in full flow, particularly on your end, Sam.
I didn't think I was that sheepish, and now I'm feeling a bit sheepish, Jolly, about all of that. Was a lot going on there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot going on. I don't know where to start. Can we start by talking about Pasquale Landolfi's impression of me? That doesn't sound like me, does it?
So what you don't know, fans listening, is Pasquale and Corey do impressions of Joel all the time. It's the only way they speak now, and they literally have added this like, I'm Joel Osborne, and added it to. Honestly, the guys are sick of it, but they do it all the time.
Well, maybe next time we get Pasquale or Corey on the podcast, we'll get them to do it. Maybe we get them to host the podcast doing their impression of me. How about that?
That'd be amazing. Yeah, it was funny. It was good. That bit with the players, they're all so excited though. They're loving. They're obviously buzzing about the win in Europe. It was nice to be with all the fans. Favorite bit is Tevo shouting, "Well, the Bristol Flyers Podcast!" And then he said at the end, "Did you hear him?
I've been witnessing this moment all my life."
Yeah.
Which was great.
How good was Kuba as well?
Oh my goodness, what a star. He was, I think producer Dan, you spotted him running on the court at the end of the game, is that right?
He is a star, and apparently the sixth man on court. He just ran on at half time or full time.
There were a few things I had to cut out of the Kuba interview. One of them was saying that he could shoot 3-pointers better than Start Lublin because all of their shots were apparently air balls. The other one was a swear word. Apologies for that. That's not going in a podcast. But apart from that, Kuba, yeah, what a legend he was.
He didn't like my joke about O'Reilly being from Dublin rather than Lublin. He's like, no, he's from the USA. I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, so no, it was great. It was really good to see. That's the largest away support we've had all season, and it's only for one that's not even in England, in the European North Basketball League.
So good, Joel. It was honestly, if we get a chance to do it again in the future, recommend it. Big old trip, a lot of fun, and yeah, hopefully we can replicate.
Producer Dan, what did you reckon of the edited packages today?
I think it was great. I'm jealous that I wasn't there, to be honest. It looked like you guys had a lot of fun. Lot of fun.
It did look like you had a lot of fun. I'm very jealous as well.
It just felt really natural, normal, but like everyone there was able to have fun and joke around and but be there and enjoy and support. I know we're joking around, and it was this one point where Brad goes to the line. I think it's quite early in the game, and Steve just starts chanting because it was quiet in there. Normally it wouldn't matter, we're away fans, but Steve just starts chanting, "Big Bad Brad," and then all of us join in. And if you listen closely enough, you can hear us all going, "Big Bad Brad," and I'm like, this is kind of awkward now. Coach kind of looked over like, "What are you guys doing?"
Amazing. Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, we'll have to see if we can do the podcast on the road more this season because, like you said, that's the first one we've done this season, Sam. We've actually taken the mics on the road. We did a couple last season. We'll have to do some more. If you've got any ideas of where we should take the podcast, send us a tweet or send us an X at Bristol Flyers or let us know. You can actually, I think you can email us. You can send us an email, hello@bristolflyers.co.uk if you want to do it the old-fashioned way. Reach out to the podcast and it will come through to either Sam or myself. So you can do that. Sam, I think that's a good place for us to wrap up this week's episode of the Flyers podcast. What an incredible episode it was. Didn't even need a studio guest.
Yeah, you just need someone out there chatting rubbish at people, Joel. That's all you need.
Great stuff. Producer Dan, thank you as always for pushing the buttons. You're working on the next guide, aren't you, right now, which is our guide to Lansdowne Hammers?
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we're travelling to Zwolle in the Netherlands next.
Well, actually, we're hosting them, but yeah.
Well, so I virtually travelling to Zwolle is what I mean.
Virtually, we will be there.
Yes.
Any exciting tidbits for us to start with? Well,
all I'll say is there's no context, boiled sweets and computer games and Mario.
There we go.
No context.
Make of that whatever you will. Well, that will feature very, very soon. Of course, that's in 2 weeks' time. So if you want to watch Flyers in the European North Basketball League, you can do at the start of December. Tickets are almost sold out now, Sam. There's only courtside and standing room left now for that game against Lansdowne Hammers. It's going to get to a point where these games are going to sell out. Like last year, by January, it got to there was everything sold out from January to May.
Yeah.
And you couldn't get anything else. So if you are thinking of watching a Flyers game for the rest of this season, I would advise you to get your tickets now because, like you say, they will sell out very, very soon. If not in the build-up to Christmas, it will be just after Christmas. They'll all be gone. So, yeah, watch this space. Anyway, let's wrap the podcast. Thanks so much for tuning into this week's episode of the podcast. A huge thank you to all of our fans that sent content in, the fans that travelled up to Poland, and thank you to you at home for listening. Thanks to our sponsors at WebGains for sponsoring this podcast. But until then, we'll see you same time next week right here on the Bristol Flyers Podcast.